I've tried to make interesting and inspired choices when it comes to especially my OTT career so far. Like sometimes you're playing a cricketer, sometimes a gangster, sometimes a lawyer. So many different things. And this time I get the chance to play a highway killer. We decide from day one that we are going to strive towards making this twisted couple work. We're not going to strive just towards making our individual characters work. So I actually did seek out a help that can you help me? How are social media influencers? How are you when the camera is rolling? How are you once you've cut the feed? So I think just spending time with her and understanding a lot of subtleties and nuances helped me a lot in putting this character together.
Hello and welcome to Absolute India News. I am Akriti Bagla, and today on Absolute India News, I have with me the very handsome Tanuj Virwani. Tanuj, hi, how have you been?
I am very good, Akriti. Thank you for such a wonderful introduction.
No, you so deserve it, yaar.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure being here and chatting with you. So yeah, I'm glad to be back.
It's even I am very excited to chat with you about your new show, Abhay
I'm very
3.
excited about my new show. Yes.
So what is exciting this time? Third season, मतलब thrice the entertainment भी होने वाला है.
Thrice the entertainment, thrice the twists, turns, go, blood, God knows. I mean, like there's so many factors that make Abhay such an enticing property, and I'm just really happy and grateful that the makers thought of me for this role. I've tried to make interesting and inspired choices when it comes to especially my OTT career so far. Like sometimes you're playing a cricketer, sometimes a gangster, sometimes a lawyer. So many different things. And this time I get the chance to play a highway killer. Something obviously that I have not done. And yeah, I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic that the audience will enjoy what both Divya and me have been able to bring to our characters and to this really twisted couple. So yeah, excited.
And also, you guys are social media influencers, content creators.
Yeah, imagine.
तो
Yeah,
मतलब
so
layers है क्या character में?
yeah, it was really nice. In fact, Divyani had a lot of discussions because she's also in real life a social media influencer. Me not so much. I mean, like I'm more known as an actor. I mean, I obviously am on social media, but like she's really hectic. Like her social media game is always on point. So I actually did seek out her help that can you help me? How are social media influencers? How are you when the camera is rolling? How are you once you've cut the feed? So I think just spending time with her and understanding a lot of subtleties and nuances helped me a lot in putting this character together. Yeah.
And you have worked with her before in Cartel as well. So how was the environment on set this time for Abhay?
It was, in Cartel, actually, Akriti, we did not really have much screen time together. So
Yeah.
we perhaps shot together maybe 3 to 4 days. And also, I mean, if you've seen Cartel, you know that she was under a lot of prosthetics on that show. So it was a very different dynamic. Here we are romantically paired opposite each other. All our scenes by and large are together. So we decide from day one that we are going to strive towards making this twisted couple work. We're not going to strive just towards making our individual characters work, because it's either we both work or we both don't work. That's the way we both kind of looked at it. They're a team, and it was really nice. It's always amazing working with someone you consider a buddy, someone whose work you look up to. She's very hardworking. She's very sincere, and she always is ready to learn, imbibe, and get better. Like I have the freedom to tell her my views on a certain scene, on the way she's saying a certain dialogue, and as does she. It's a very democratic environment, which I think is extremely conducive for creativity. Like sometimes what happens is like actors, we're a little vulnerable. We don't like being kind of rebuked, or we don't like being corrected sometimes and all. But it's important to get perspective and get feedback, because that only helps you in getting even better. So yes, it's been wonderful collaborating with Divya again.
And since you only now spoke about the feedback, how important it is, Tanuj, being a social media influencer, unfiltered comments sometimes comes your way. Sometimes some are very
Sure.
good, some are really heartbreaking, I would tell. So a good comment and a really heartbreaking comment you would like to recall you have received.
Oh, I mean, there's so many of them. Akriti, there was a time where I would get quite affected when someone wrote something negative about me, or sometimes they get very, very personal. There's a certain amount of toxicity, I believe, on social media, and it's just been steadily increasing, unfortunately. So I try to not remember the bad, but like they'll just randomly abuse you, or like say if we're doing an interview and you ask me my viewpoint, I'm usually pretty forthcoming about like what my stance is on a certain issue or anything it could be, So if I've worked with a certain co-star and if I've not taken a name in an interview or something like that, then her fans will sit and give me galis. If I've taken another co-star's name and not XYZ's name, then that person's fans will, So I understand, because like fandom in our country is a very big thing, and that's how people are so many people become popular, right? These millions of followers on Instagram and Twitter are not just numbers. I mean, they're people, and that's the kind of rabid fan base that people have. So I just feel sometimes ho jata hai. And positive comments, it's usually I think what attracts the most amount of positivity is if they've enjoyed my work on a certain show, or most certainly if I put up pictures with my family, especially my mother, or with my dogs. I'm a dog lover. We have lots of pets at home, so there's a lot of positivity. And I mean, as an audience, I also feel happy when I look at other people that I look up to, actors and influencers, and I see their pictures at home with their family, aside to their personality that we don't often get to see. So I also try and do the same, because I understand that today, as an actor, as a celebrity, we have put ourselves out there. So people don't want to just know what shows you're doing or who you're working with. They want a little sneak peek behind closed doors. So I give it till a point that I'm comfortable, and uske baad then I just thank you, bye. Yeah.
And coming to the sneak peek also, it comes with a certain amount of baggage कि जो audience देखती है वही वो believe करती है. So
Of
you
course.
really have to be very careful. Just an example, you are posting pictures with your co-stars constantly. So they are like, "Arey, something is cooking between them."
Chakkar to chalu hai. They are definitely having a scene. I'll tell you honestly, Akriti, rule of thumb is that if I mean, at least the way I look at it is, if an actor is constantly posting pictures with his co-star, na, definitely unka scene nahi hai. It's the pictures that are not posted scene usually udhar hota hai. Okay. Because see, when you have nothing to hide, na, तो then आप फोटो खींचते रहते हो और लगाते भी रहते हो, because ठीक है, big deal. But there's certain aspects, like even with me, I mean, I'll be honest, I mean, there are certain friends of mine, even from the fraternity and all that, I put lots of pictures with, and people automatically start, adding 2 and 2 and coming to 222 and all that. I'm like, you're so off the mark. It's not even funny. Like, it's crazy. And it's funny because then we sit and we laugh about it, But yeah, when you actually have something to hide, then maybe you will not post pictures. Because you must, because I think it's important, and I think we all owe it to ourselves, even though we are in the public and we're in the limelight, that there's a certain part of our personality and a certain part of our lives that we should just keep private, I think a little bit of mystery is important, Like, koi aise bhi log hote na, from the time they wake up, what pajamas they have worn, what they have, everything that's happening. You almost feel like you're in a live-in relationship with them. So I feel that gets a bit much, So I like to just keep like my private life private. Yeah.
And also, social media influencing, it's a very lucrative career these days. मतलब का कोई time पे सिर्फ science, commerce, arts था. आज तो there are tricks and hacks that people advise for social media. So how do you see the space as an avenue for newcomers and both in a young generation?
Akriti, I feel social media is a very important component for any modern day actor, because earlier, say if I wanted to clarify something, I want to make a statement, I just have a certain view on a certain subject, anything that's happening, I would have to get in touch with a media platform or with a journalist or something like that. Now I can bypass all of that and straight away just connect directly to my fans, and there's less chance of my words being taken in the wrong way, right? Because it's exactly what you have written. So in that way, I think it offers you a good platform. It's very powerful. It's a very powerful tool, but I also believe it's misused a lot as well. And that's something I wish we start looking into and we start correcting. I'm not just talking for actors or people in the entertainment fraternity, but just as a society, I feel um, whoever's come up with social media and the internet has done something fantastic. But sometimes it also reveals how shallow and how fake a lot of people choose to be. There's this and I actually see a lot of youngsters getting very affected by this. Like they are so affected if they think that their friends have gotten more likes or their friends have more followers than them, or oh my god, my friend is partying and chilling in the south of France, मैं तो इधर ही गोरेगांव में बैठा हूँ. Like um, because social media is aspirational, right? And
True,
you
true,
also
true.
get to show only what you want to show. At the end of
Exactly.
the day, it doesn't matter who you are. Nobody wakes up with 10 face filters. Everyone gets bad skin once in a while. Everyone wakes up with bad breath, and everyone has to live like a human being. But it's only because you are seeing a teeny weeny tip of the iceberg that you feel, their lives are so rocky, and then you start comparing it with your own. And grass will always seem greener on the other side. So I just feel that
True, true.
it's our responsibility as content creators, as influencers, and as actors to give an accurate representation of ourselves. I try and strive for a certain amount of authenticity. Like I mean, if you see any of my social media posts or even my stories and all, like I try and not follow any specific trend. There's so many of these trends keep happening, and then I just feel कि वो थोड़ा herd mentality हो जाता है. Like I have nothing against them. It's just not something that resonates with me, and I like to keep it real because you love me for who I am, and you can hate me for who I am, but I don't want to pretend to be something or someone I'm not. Because at the end of the day, like if you're a fan of an actor, you will not just be a fan of the work that they do. You will also like watching the interviews. You will also like seeing how they off
Exactly.
screen, what is their general vibe, and it happens to all of us. So I think it's important to give an accurate representation of that. Yeah.
Also, Tanuj, coming to Abhay 3, like you are a social media influencer, but also a highway killer. Like two completely different emotions because social media thing, as we see in the trailer, is quite fun, whereas
Sure.
the killing part is quite intense. So, how
Sure.
did you manage to tap on two completely different emotions?
Akriti, that's what made this role such a challenge and taking it up so much fun. Because there's a certain duplicity that this character had to offer. Like, and it happens with so many of us, right? I mean, we have this public facade, even for actors. I mean, like it does not matter. You could be having an issue with your girlfriend or boyfriend, or you could be having a problem with your parents, or something else has happened, and basically you're not in a great mood. But when you go on a set or you go to an event, you have to put your best foot forward and you have to be in the zone. So similarly, I think even for social media influencers, at the end of the day, sometimes people forget that they're human and they also may have their mood swings, their ups and downs, highs and lows, everything.
True,
So
true.
to play that social media influencer and really play to the gallery along with Divya, and then once the camera is off, you see a completely, and in this case, a very very dark side to both their personalities. It was so much fun and it was so gratifying as an actor to be able to tap into that and understand, yeah, human beings are so complicated. There's so many things that go on in our head. It's like sometimes they say, as the saying goes, an idle mind is a devil's workshop, and that's something that I absolutely agree with. So I had a lot of fun kind of balancing the two. I mean, kaha social media influencer, kaha highway killer. I mean, like
Killer,
it's like so hats off to the writers for coming up with this concept. Yeah.
And Tanik, initially you told like you are very optimistic when it comes to choosing a work on OTT. Okay, so your recent shows, I would take the example, be it Cartel, Illegal, Inside Edge, and now Abhay 3. You have worked between an ensemble cast, like almost 5 to 6 big faces are sharing screen space with you. But don't you ever get apprehensive about getting overshadowed? Because honestly, whatever you have played till now, you have stood out. So how do you manage to do that? Or is it, conscious effort or
See,
it just happens?
it's a very valid and very good question. And I'd be lying if I said that as an actor, I don't have certain insecurities because सबके होते हैं. At the end of the
Okay.
day, you need to just sit yourself down and be like, look, I'm going to give it my best. If I'm doing this interview right now with you, I want to give you my best. If I'm acting or I'm doing any job that has been given to me specifically, I want to give it my best. But after that, how it's edited, how the music is composed, how the shots are selected, I'm not in charge of any of that. I have no idea. Like I shot for Abhay, I dubbed for Abhay, Now I'll watch Abhay when the rest of you watch it when the show releases on the 8th of April. Simple si baat hai. So I just try and focus as much as I possibly can on the process and not think about what the results are going to be, because sometimes you end up creating something amazing when there are no expectations, and sometimes you build up these crazy expectations in your head and then you set yourself up for disappointment. So I don't think about all this. And let's also acknowledge the fact that I have been very lucky so far, especially in the last couple of years, with whatever work I've done, especially on the like OTT space, that whether I'm in 5 scenes or in 20 scenes, the makers have given me enough to chew on in those scenes. So even if I may not be in every frame of the show, but like that presence is felt. You can look at a cartel, you can look at at an inside edge. Like there's so many people. It's an ensemble. But if you are able to do justice to the material that is given to you, then I feel people will remember you. So I'm hopeful, even with Abhay. I mean, it's not like Divyani have the most massive roles. I mean, the name of the show is Abhay. This is Kunal's show all the way, and rightly so. He's earned the right, and I'm so happy for him because he's tremendously gifted and very, very hardworking. But if you guys appreciate our work and say, okay, you know what, you all have added value to the show, then my job for Abhay is done. I'd be more than happy. So yeah.
And Tanuj, I want to come on this again. You told you post mostly content about your cricket or your dogs.
Yeah.
And talking about cricket, what's the status these days? Because a lot is coming from your end related to cricket.
There's no specific status. A lot of people feel that maybe because I've been part of a cricket-based show, that's why I keep posting about cricket. But frankly, the thing is, Akriti, I have always been a massive cricket fan. Right from, I mean, okay, not the best thing to show, but if you look at my little fingers, see, they're both crooked. I can't make them straight. Because I've sustained injuries with the ball over the last 20-25 years. So I was just really happy when I got to actually essay a cricketer on screen. So I think that's why, because cricket is such an important part of my life and of my DNA, that people often think that maybe some announcement is coming or maybe something's happening. But aisa kuch hai nahi. I just really enjoy the sport. It means a lot to me. So yeah.
And what about your upcoming projects on this note?
So after Abhay, we've got the second season of Codem, which has got Jennifer Winget and myself.
Excited for that, by the way.
I'm actually very excited, and the script also is really interesting this time. So I hope all goes well over there. I think it will, in all probability, be my next release. Then I'm doing this show with KK Menon called Murshid. So I'm playing a police officer in that. Extremely kicked about that as well. I recently completed a film after like a really long time called Johnny Jumper. It's got Vijay Raz, who I really look, who's also on Abhay 3, and Zakir Hussain and Brijinder Kalra, and I'm Zarina Wahab. So really excited about that. What else do I have? I am currently I'm shooting for a bunch of things right now. I also have completed another film, but we have to wait for the makers to make the announcement. But very soon. So it's looking like a pretty sorted year, and I want to build a sort of ecosystem in my career where I'm able to put out enough content, enough different roles, and maybe you will like A and maybe someone else will like B, but there's something in it for everyone, So yeah, let's see how it goes.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Follow our channel Absolute India News on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube and website.